All right, folks, here we are. It's Les Skymo with my new channel, um, Skymo Outdoors. Some of you probably seen me before. Uh, this is something I wanted to do um, for a while, and I've been had a radio program on Armed Radio Global. I've no longer done that. I've done that for a few years. I'm very political, very outspoken, very opinionated, but I want to devote this channel here just to hunting and fishing outdoors. And just by nature, I'm goofy, so you're going to get some of that from time to time. So, just a little bit about myself, those of you that don't know. If you want to see some of my other content, go to Les Skymo. And if you want to see some political views, go to Right Turn Talk is my other channel. This is my third channel. And so I've already got, now see, I had to wait 24 hours before I could go live after I created this channel at 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday morning or something like that. And so I had to wait that whole time. So little did I know until today I could do some shorts. So I done some shorts and, done a little goofing off. And so I did download some other things from my computer, a couple videos. I could also download. I didn't find that out till today, but I need 50 subscribers, and on my other channels. But I would really like to get 50 subscribers on here so I could use my phone to go live. Okay. And the wife, she just retired this past hunting season. She done some deer hunting, and I took her deer hunting, and she loves the outdoors. Okay, but the way she works, she didn't have much opportunity, and she loves to bass fish. I am a former tournament bass fisherman, and just local stuff. I've done that for 30 years, probably. Done it my whole life, but just done the tournament thing maybe 30, 35 years. And nothing big, just small stuff. Fish for USA Bassin for several years. And I did very well. Me and my son, my oldest son, we did very well. And I've still got a secret bait that nobody has ever seen. Well, they've seen it in passing the boats, maybe the pole laying up on the boat, but they didn't know what they was looking at. And if from a distance it looks similar to something else, but it ain't something else. And I've been reluctant all these years. Me and my son stumbled across this, and I want to reveal it, but I don't. And it's not like they jump in the boat, you know, to go to the weigh-in with you. Not like they want to ride. But I've caught more fish and made more money. Me and my son has on this one particular bait, and there is times when it don't work. It just Mother Nature should kick you in the teeth, knocked all mine out. But anyway, I got some things, man. I go over with my boat, go over my fishing equipment. The equipment I use. There's a lot of. I'm pretty. I'm not as technical as some fishermen are about a lot of things. I don't spend near the money that a lot of these guys do, but I still get the job done. Um, and I design my own camouflage. If you watch the interview on here, on this channel here, you'll see my camouflage. Okay, that's controversial. No matter what I do, I'm gonna get argument out of somebody, So, but I've designed my own camouflage. I always like to tweak things. I'm a tweaker, man, and I'm a thinker. I always think, and I think out of the box a lot. But I've made several different camo patterns, and I've shot and killed deer with every one of them. And, I'm going to try to get some of those videos off my phone onto here. And I've got some videos that me and my son done a long time ago. My first experience with doing my own camouflage was in 2008, and I spent a lot of money developing that and everything, and it is killer. But there's just some things you can't change people's mind on. Some people, they just become instant experts, and they listen to these commercialized experts. Sometime, but like I say, I mean, I debate anybody, but that's not what this channel's for. But if you have any questions, or you want to have a discussion about something you see that I use or something I do, that's what it's about. And just having fun and introducing y'all to my wife. She's a great person, wonderful woman. Hates cold weather. So when the cold weather's here, she's done hunting. That's it. She's done. But she loves to bass fish, and she's pretty good at it too. And so we've been bass fishing several years. We just celebrated our 42nd wedding anniversary, and so I'm 69 years old. So I just backed off of a lot of things that I had obligations to, and I've got to the point where I want to do something else. But I need, if you don't like what I'm doing, or you don't, you check me out, but I'm not your cup of tea with what I do or say or how I talk. This is my real voice. I am not Larry the Cable Guy. This is me. Half Brawler from Kentucky, half Buckeye from Ohio. So I'm a half breed. Okay, so anyway, I just want to, even if I'm not your cup of tea, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like and subscribe. I need 50 subscribers so I can use my phone. And you know how it is. I can take my phone out in my garage, and I can show you my equipment and go through my lures, with the exception of the money bait. Maybe not. But I can do some things like that. Go to my boat. I've got a 1997 Ranger with a 175 horse Johnson Fast Strike on it. I rebuilt the front deck on it, and boy, what a job that was. But I got the boat on the cheap, and but the guy that I bought it off of was an FLW professional bass angler, and he had more money and he had brains. He just left it out in the weather. It was, and he fished out of it like that. And over the years, the seats just looked like a wildcat got a hold of them. Well, I personally redone the seats myself. Done a heck of a job. Anyway, if I can get 50 subscribers, I can take my phone and I can do all this stuff and it goes straight to my channel. See, you know how it works. But, that's what I want to do. I just kind of, I don't know, maybe turning over a new leaf, maybe. But I want to introduce you to my new camouflage. The past, let's see, when did I do? Last summer, summer before last, maybe. Uh, I found this place. They print up my camo patterns and they mail me the material. And one of my other hobbies, and I'll bring that in here too because it plays into my hunting and fishing, is I'm a seamster, not a teamster, a seamster. One of my hobbies is sewing. I love to sew. And, I'm not the best at it, buddy, I can make some coats, I can make some shirts, I can make some jackets. And but I get into my theory on camouflage, on colors. What I think a deer sees, what it don't sees. I've got two really killer videos on my phone. Uh, Wait a minute, no, they're not on my phone. They're on my other channel. Okay, so I got to figure out how to download them and put them on this channel. Very interesting. And, some of that's science and some of it is speculation. And everything that I'm commenting on and going over was done by, was it Mississippi or Missouri University? I mean, it was big, high dollar study they done for deer. So I'm kind of all over the map right now, but this just gives you a little flavor, a little taste of what I want to do with this channel, and I like I say, sometimes I do things differently than other people, but I get the same result, and sometimes I get a better result, and sometimes I get a worse result. But I like to sew, I like to hunt, I like to fish, but I want to, we're getting ready here in a couple months to go back to Watts Bar Lake. If you go on here and watch a video where I turned that big 6 pound, 10 ounce bass loose from Watts Bar, that was my personal best. I've caught a lot of 5 pounders, 4 pounders, 3 pounders. I live in Ohio. Most of my bass fishing, all of my tournaments, has been fished in Ohio. Like I said, I wasn't on no big BASS circuit or nothing like that. That's too much for me. I'm not, wouldn't commit to that if I did have the money. It's too much. But I love the tournament fish. The competition is just, even at a small scale, it's fierce. And a lot like bow hunting, it's just grown and grown. But I just got a lot of things I want to do, a lot of stuff on my mind I'd just like to share with you people. And I bought a brand new bow last year. Didn't want to, but I was forced into it if I was going to continue to bow hunt. Shot at a big, nice buck, right? Just, man, you couldn't ask for a better shot, really. I mean, it would have been better if it had come through at 4 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. I had just a hair more daylight. But I had a Ross bow that I loved, and man, I was good with it. Killed a lot of deer with it. Zeroed in on him, let that thing go about 25 yards, and it just blew up on me. Well, it didn't really blow up. The string come off the top cam for some reason. Don't know why. So, and it bent the cam, and I couldn't even draw it back just a little bit, and it would hit the other string. So, next day I'm at Cabela's buying a new bow. I'd love to do a review with y'all on this. I bought a new bear bow and an adapt 2, I think it is 4 or something. I had to get it out of the box or out of my bow cases. It's a bear bow, 70-pound pull, but now I don't pull that much. But anyway, it's a great bow, man. It was 600 and something bucks that I did not want to spend, but I did. But very good bow, very good bow. And but I'd like to do a review with you on that. And so here in a little while, headed back down to Watts Bar. I love that lake down there, and it's Clinch River tributary. I believe it's Clinch River. Little cottage. Well, it's actually a trailer, but it's right on the little slough, the backwater of the river. And maybe 150 yards from where we were staying, that was where I caught that big bass. Well, we caught a lot of bass. Excuse me. And just run a little crankbaits, white rubber worm. I never use white here in Ohio. No confidence in it. Never really used it. Never seen anybody hardly ever use it here in Ohio, white. Now on a spinner bait, sometimes people do. But for some reason down south, the bass seem to really like that white, and a lot of people use it. Swim baits, worms. I caught that bass on a 7-inch white. I think it was a Zoom worm. And but we put on some little crankbaits, little Rapala crankbaits, and just going up in June. Excuse me, going up and just cruising the banks and just killing the bass. And had a great time down there. Had a boat slip, put the boat in, raise it up if I wanted to. The knuckleheads come down through that little cove at 90 mile an hour. You raise the bunks boards up against the boat, keep it from washing all over the place. So, but anyway, that's me, man. That's all I want to do, and just have a little fun with this channel. And like I say, I'm very political, and when I get political, I'm to a lot of people, I'm controversial. I'm an extreme right wingist, but I can get along. I love everybody. I can get along with everybody. And but anyway, I want to lay that on the back burner when I come to this channel, and get into all this other stuff, man. And I make my own jigs. I walk you through making some jigs and where I get my stuff, and where I get my stuff to make my jigs, and whatever else. Go, like I said, my rods, my reels, how much I pay, blah, what kind are they, Because like I said, I do not spend a fortune to go out here and bass fish and hunt. Now, that's with the asterisk, because you're going to spend a lot of money bass fishing and hunting. But I mean, I do take shortcuts with some things, and I do really well with it. You know, I'm not a cheapskate, but I'm like apply some common sense. I pride myself on common sense, and for example, okay, I walk into Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, no matter. I get a lot of my poles at Walmart. I use them for the most part. I use a medium or normally a medium heavy rod for everything. You know, my adjustment is more in my hook set and in my line that I use. Okay, but if I go into wherever, okay, and I say I need a rod. I like if I can find a 7 foot rod, I'll buy a 7 foot rod. Most of what you get seems like it's like 6'6". I got a frog in my throat, folks. Sorry about that. I'll use the 6'6" rod. If I see a 7 footer, I'll buy it. Okay, but if there's $100 7 foot rod that's a medium heavy and a $20 medium heavy rod over here, one's St. Croix and one's whatever. Okay, I pick them up, I play with them, I bend them, I look at them. But I know I ain't buying no $100 fishing rod. Okay, I check this $20 rod out. Hey, checks out with me. That's the one I walk out with. I walk out with a $20 fishing rod and catch the same fish everybody else does with a $100 rod. Now, in the fishing world, folks, that's very controversial. I'll get so many arguments out of people over that right there. Okay, but I've proved myself to be right. Okay, I haven't missed. Now I have missed fish. I've missed big fish. Okay, but it ain't because of the rod. Now I get there's another one. People will argue with me about that. The only way to settle that is meet me down at the lake. Let's just test it out. You know, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Okay, and then get into lines and monofilament lines and braided line and all this stuff. I want to get into some of that with you. And a lot of things is what Les Skimo does. Not what you ought to do, not what you need to do. Sometimes I may come across, well, you need to do this or take that with a grain of salt. Because what I really mean to say is, you know, you ought to give this a try. Try it this way and see what you think. And but I want to introduce the wife to y'all. She's a lot of fun to be with, but now she's a city girl. Okay, but she took to this fishing stuff like a duck to water. And like I said, we've been married 42 years. And so she never tried to change me, never tried to stop me from hunting and fishing. You know, she's enjoyed the bounty. And, you know, so now she's getting involved. And I dig it, man. You know, I love, you know, because all my hunting buddies, if they haven't passed away, okay, they either got their own little place, they hunt in their backyard, or whatever, you know. And so I'm down there a lot by myself, evidenced by that one video that you'll see on this channel about the deer cane. You just got to create things to do if you're not hunting. But anyway, that's me, man. I'm just a simple country boy and grew up, you know, just a notch or two above dirt poor, maybe, and worked for everything I've ever had. And, but that's where I'm at in life, man. Like I said, I'm 69. I ain't gonna be able to do this forever. But I'm gonna do it as long as I can. And raise my two boys out in the wilderness. I want to put together what do they call a slideshow, and try to anyway. Now, when it comes to technology, I haven't been on when I was doing my armed radio program, unscheduled with Les Skimo and the Dave. And after a few years, Dave left, and it's Les Skimo and Jeremy, unscheduled with Les Skimo and Jeremy. My shows are on Spotify. Um, you can find them on YouTube, um, somewhere else. iHeartRadio. You can go on iHeartRadio and get my old shows if you want to know that side of me. I've made a few little songs. I've got a band in the box. I can't play spoons, can't play nothing, but I can write a little ditty. So on my Les Skimo channel, got a few little ditties on there I wrote, and if you want to check them out. But like I say, this channel here is just for the outdoor stuff. So walking through the woods, hunting, fishing, and my sewing. I'll throw that in there for a bonus. But folks, that's just it. And I got some stuff you might like, some stuff you may not like. But I'm always open for conversation. And I got an opinion about probably everything that I have any little bit of knowledge about. But here's the thing about old Les Skimo. If I don't know, I will tell you I just don't know. Or I'll say, well, buddy, I really don't know, but here's what I think about it. I'm a born again Christian, have been a Christian for 40 years. Me and the wife, we're avid churchgoers. And so we're full gospel, Pentecostal. Okay, we don't handle snakes. We juggle young possums. No, we don't. And but we keep it clean, relatively clean. No, we keep it real clean. But if anybody goofs off, it's gonna be me. But here sooner or later, introduce you to the wife. And but it really these days to do this kind of stuff. You got to use your phone if you're away from home. And I don't want to drag everything down in my office, and but I will if I have to. But I got to figure out how to get these videos. I've done everything that the YouTubers have told me to do, how to do it. And I can't get all my videos. I can get my pictures off my phone onto the computer, plugging it in with the cable, USB cable, but it don't get my videos. It won't pick up my videos, and I don't know why. And so I got to keep trying. If I have to, I'll play the videos on my phone and take this camera and do it that way. Whatever I got to do. Now, I'm going to wind up with this. I'm almost 30 minutes in. I don't want to bore you too bad. I'm almost a former or an ex taxidermist. Okay, I've done taxidermy for several years. Got deer heads in several different states, largemouth bass, turkeys. I was really good at it, worked out of my home. Had no overhead except just a little bit for my supplies. Excuse me. But I've got my son. I've done the last 2 deer heads I've done for my son. He killed a big 10-pointer. Get that in there. Bigger than that. But anyway, I mounted that, and then he killed a 9-pointer, and he asked me to video some of that. My 2 boys grew, and my daughter grew up around this stuff. Wasn't interested at all. Okay, so this year he kills this really big, nice 8-pointer, and I'm done with it. I said, son, I love you. I ain't mounting it. I'm done. So I'd like to get some pictures on here, show you that. We canoed it down the river, down there. Let me grab this picture real quick. This past season, I hope we can see it. Let me back it up. Okay. This past season, that's my youngest son, okay, in his kayak with his deer in the other kayak. All right, I'm going to put that back. Oh, let's set that down here for now. Okay, I'm back. So, he shot that deer and he knew it wasn't a real good hit. He liver shot it. So he went and found his arrow and seen which way it went, and he backed out. So the next day, we went and tracked that deer down. Tough, man. We was on our hands and knees, and just little pin drops of blood. And then, we finally found that sucker. He was about ready to go down and cross the creek. If he'd got in that creek, if he'd made the other side, we'd probably never found him. I don't know. Anyway, we found him before he got down the creek. And so I stayed with the deer. My son took my truck, went and got us 2 kayaks, and we was half a mile, 3/4 of a mile up the creek. And so that was a great experience. And as long as I'm in my right mind, I made so many memories with my kids, deer hunting, and fishing with my oldest boy, tournament fishing, and now it's me and my wife's turn. So, and they've been gone away from home for a long time, but now the wife's retired. We get to hang out every day, all day. And we still got room in the house to get away from each other when we have to. When I get too much overbearing on her, she'll send me to my office. But anyway, folks, that's me. That's what I'm all about. Hit the like button and subscribe and help me get these 50 subscribers. And like I said, even if I'm not your cup of tea, just subscribe. You don't have to watch me. Just subscribe to me. And from then on, you can overlook it. Just give me that subscribe so I can get my 50 and take my phone and do what I love to do. Okay, folks, this is Les Skymo, and I love you and appreciate you. And I thank those that, I think I had 9 or 14 before I was able to go live on this channel. That's pretty awesome, and I really appreciate that. And I thank you very much for that, folks. And so stay tuned, and I think you'll enjoy some of the stuff. If you like the outdoors at all, I'm sure there'll be something from time to time that I'll do that you'll enjoy. And so anyway, folks, I love you. God bless you. Jesus loves you. And this is Les Skymo. I'm out.